Continue.
It reminds me of like Junie B. Jones or like Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Snogging type of era where it's just like a teenage girl trying to figure it the fuck out, and she's just like cute and adorable. And I don't know, I just really liked her. I liked her character a lot. Spindle cracked me the fuck up this entire book. I was just like, that cannot be a 10-year-old boy. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, oh, he was so funny the entire book. Honestly, I thought he was fucking hilarious. Um, Spring Green Man was terrifying. Like, I was scared.
Yeah.
I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Also, the biggest thing I got out of this book was I want a gingerbread cookie so bad. I want one so freaking bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I thought that I think it was like really lighthearted and in general just like like I thought it was a really good book. But I also like the sprinkling of like of why aren't adults taking care of this? Like why is it left to children? Like why,
Mhm.
like why do we deal with this and then have to figure it out and then we're stressed the fuck out when we're 14? And I like that they kind of approach that in the book too because I think that's very fair. But I also feel like for that time, it made more sense. I feel like children in that era or that age had more responsibility than children now.
Hmm.
But I think it was just like a generalized good topic.
Mhm.
And Tabitha was fucking hilarious too with her flying croissant onesie. I thought that
Yeah.
was so cute.
Oh, yeah.
And Bob
Bob
was
was my
so
favorite
fucking
too, yeah.
funny too. She's like, I fed him some sardines. He's been eating rats. I threw in some rotten fish. I was like, what the fuck?
And, like, the way she would say, like, and he would, like, glop happily or, like, I don't know what the words
Yeah.
were, but it was just, like,
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah. But overall, I'll keep talking once you guys have it. Overall, I thought it was so cute. I really liked it. I really enjoyed reading the book. And the narration was like phenomenal. I love the
The
narration in this book.
narration was super freaking good. I agree.
Yeah.
Like I was for some reason I wasn't sure about the narrator for the first like chapter, and then she was probably like one of the better narrators I feel like we've read. It was really really good. Manel, you look like you have things to say.
I do because I have notes
Nice.
too.
Oh.
Okay. Um, the first point is that this book it's written for children or middle grade schoolers, right? It's intended for that
Is it?
audience.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
I
it?
to Goodreads and I was just looking at the tags and it was tagged as, middle grade or whatever. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. But I didn't mind it too much because the storytelling was just so good and it's like such a cozy read. Like I got the same feeling I got when I read Ella Enchanted for the first time. It was just so
Oh
cute.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Even though it was a children's book, it had so many good topics and the story was so good, the plot was good, the characters were good. I really liked it, even though it's a kid's story. Like it was a welcome change and I loved it so much. I also like the fact that Mona didn't suddenly realize that she was like the chosen one or whatever,
Some bullcrap
Yeah.
like that. I fully agree. I fully agree.
like,
Yeah.
discover that, oh, I have this well of untapped potential or whatever. I'm so
Yeah.
glad worked with what she had. And I really like that example of the assassin who worked with roses. I'm like, that's so interesting. I want
Yeah.
to book just about her because like how does one use roses to kill people? That's so interesting. I love that so much. So I really liked the fact that, she wasn't some chosen one or whatever, but she used what she had. And that quote that Lord Ethan said, in magic, creativity is just as important as knowledge. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, yes, that's so cute. It makes sense. That I also like Bob, the fermented dough. He's just fluff, but I love him so much. He's just so cool.
And like when he was getting mad and she was like feeding him the bad energy or whatever, like oh man,
Yeah.
Bob was
Yeah.
amazing. Bob was
Yeah,
amazing.
I really like this author because she just has the most bizarre ideas and concepts. Like she saved the kingdom using flour, using dough, and like who even thinks of things like that? Using gingerbread men to go out and fight the soldiers,
Giant.
using
Yes.
chocolate
Right.
chip cookies to like create a big gigantic monster to fight these people off. Like it's so fun. I loved it so much. Yeah. Who was the character? Nectarine, Molly, and the dead horses. Like out of
Yeah.
all magical
Mm,
abilities you can think of, you thought of someone who can animate dead horses, specifically dead horses. That was
yeah.
so.
And I actually appreciated the specificness of that because I was partially
Mhm.
questioning in the beginning like the specificness of her like being able to magic bread. But as soon
Yeah,
as they mentioned the horse, I was like, okay, yeah, so magic is just weird as shit in this world. I kind of dig that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of cool.
fun. And then at the end, like the little bad cookies that got away and now
Oh
are causing
man.
the
Yeah.
kitchen.
And terrorizing that cook that what was her name didn't like. So it's like it works out
Oh
that way
yeah.
too. Yeah, that's great.
Overall, I just really enjoyed it. It was cute. I like it.
It
Even
was
though
cute. I did like it.
I enjoyed it.
Is it my turn? It's
Yes.
probably my turn. I thought it was great. I feel like this is the first book that I just unabashedly really like since we were in the good Sarah J. Masses. I feel like there's been like this
Oh.
long streak of either bad books or good books with like a pretty big asterisk for me. This one was just really really good. I kind of loved all of it. Uh, Interestingly enough, I wanted to read this to you guys because, like, well, so T. Kingfisher is the vaguely absurd pen name of Ursula Vernon. In another life, she writes children's books. ... But then the next line is, "This is the name she uses when writing things for grown-ups." So, like, so when you said middle school, I was like, oh. And that's T Kingfisher's like official blurb on Goodreads. So I'm pretty sure she was the one that wrote that or her publicist, right? Um so yeah, I don't really know who the target audience is because it's not like it was like sleazy or gross, and I thought that that was great. But I'm also like, yeah, in my mind, this was not just specifically for young people, but I guess just the fact that she's 14, so I guess that makes sense. I don't really know. I think just about anybody could probably appreciate this book. Um,
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
like my main complaint probably, and it's like it's not even a very just the whole just like how ridiculously smart these two kids were felt a little unrealistic sometimes.
Spindle for sure.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I just freaking loved them, and I think if anything, like the way that I can describe it, I think because she did a good job of showing them as children still, despite being having this like knowledge beyond their years. So it didn't come off as like stupid like a lot of other books. It came off more like Stranger Things or Goonies, right? Where like you can
Yeah.
still kind of like look at those and think like, oh, this isn't really realistic for what kids would do, but it's like charming instead of being bad. Like sometimes it goes, other times. So even that's like really not that much of a nag. I really really like the book a lot. I also kind of appreciated. I think I was. I think I was like sabotaging it in my mind. I was thinking about all of like the stupid things that she could have done that would have been kind of like how things are in modern books. Pretty much none of them happened. One of the things that I thought was going to happen was I thought that the good wizard was going to end up being bad. You know, the one that she had like the crush on, because it just felt like, I don't know, like his, because in my mind I was just really picturing that guy as like a tall white guy, and so he's got to be a bad guy, you know what I mean? But I'm glad that he just ended up being like a mentor figure for her, and it was just fine, because I feel like that's like a
Yeah.
better and more realistic thing to have happen. Yeah, I freaking love this book a lot. I want to read more from her, because
Same.
that's two that I really like. I mean, I remember really really liking Nettle and Bone. I think that was Julia's pick. That was like one of our
Which one was
first
it?
books.
Nettle
Huh?
and Bone.
Nettle and Bone.
Yeah.
Also, I remember just being super super good. So, yeah, I think I
Yeah.
like her.
Yeah. Actually, to your point, I'm glad that she has this little crush on Lord Ethan rather than, her having a thing with like Spindle, even though he's like way
Stupid or
younger.
anything. Yeah,
Like,
I totally.
Yeah.
It didn't.
that's what
Yeah,
I
there was no place for any of that crap in this book, and I'm
Mhm.
glad that it didn't go there.
I appreciated the lack of romance.
Totally.
I was like, good. That
Yeah.
she's focused on building
Which is
gingerbread
true
man.
of like all action novels. Like whenever there's a romance budding and there's like
You know
people
what made
dying
me
around
laugh?
you. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. No,
No, go ahead.
finish.
Yeah. Oh, just whenever there's a budding
When she
romance and there's
pissed
people dying
herself.
around it. Oh my god. I think I'm like delayed. Go ahead. Yeah, the pissing herself was pretty awesome. I agree. That was one of the things that made me go like, oh yeah, this is just a scared kid, and like in a good way. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
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 What did we think of the Duchess? Did we like her? I thought she was pretty cool. But
Yeah,
like,
I was indifferent towards her.
yeah, I didn't dislike her, but I was probably like the most indifferent toward her of like almost anybody maybe.
I like how she said that she just inherited this kingdom, so we don't know whether she actually wanted the role or not.
Sure.
But also at the same time, she kind of did do what she could have done given the situation. So
Yeah.
I get her. I didn't really like her, so I was also indifferent towards her. But yeah,
I also liked that idea of because it just felt way more like it's like I feel like a lot of this book felt like realistic despite the magicked bread, which is like it's like a ridiculous phrase to say, but like this whole idea of like unwilling heroes, I think that's like very very like true. I think I mean like
Yeah.
you know anyone you meet that's like done like a tour in like Afghan and has seen like real action, like they're not like, you know, they're not Aelin. They wish they hadn't done it, frankly. Do you know what I mean? Like they did it because they had to.
Yeah.
But like the people that end up surviving situations like this, it's like it scared them shitless. It wasn't like some, you know what I mean? And so to bring that aspect into this like ridiculous world, I thought was kind of cool. And for the head wizard guy to like reaffirm that was also cool. I appreciated all of that.
Another scene that I absolutely loved in this book is when she built like the crazy ones, and like right as they began to peel themselves off of the sheets, they started throwing walnuts at each other and like popping off their
Oh
eyes.
my gosh! And the
and
little
just,
gingerbread man.
yeah.
And the little gingerbread man like got them to attention. I thought that was so funny.
Dude, and when the Duchess gives him like a penny-sized pin for being like a war hero, that was like the cutest thing ever. I loved that so freaking much. I was sad that Bob didn't get some kind of award. Yeah, it was really cute.
Bob is the real hero.
Bob is the real hero.
Yeah.
Bob is the hero, yeah.
Although I did have like one, and I mean it's not like this isn't even like a big deal, but I had like one question in my mind as it was going down, like the action. I thought that the action scenes were actually pretty good, the way they were described and thought out and stuff. But like, I feel like they used Bob too early, right? Like once they were going through that phase of like, you know, the shields and trying to do the battering ram, I feel like you could have thrown some Bob at their feet and like they wouldn't have even freaking gotten in, you know what I mean? But I mean, when you're like being sacked by a giant army, you like start throwing shit pretty fast, I'm sure. So like it's not that unrealistic, but I think I've just watched too many like Lord of the Ring siege films and I'm like, oh bro, you just popped off Bob like way too early there. You should have waited.
No battle strategy behind this. Okay, it was literally
sure,
a 14.
Exactly. It was totally me just being like a douchebag because they all like mostly didn't know what the hell they were doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't cry. I almost never like actually cry with books, but I got like close when Nackering.
Oh my god, me
when she
too.
Died, that was rough, dude. That was rough.
Yeah, that was really rough.
I felt like, and it's weird because like I thought I was fine, like it was happening, and I already knew she was dead, and I thought it was like fine, and then I think it was like other people's reaction to it, and like when Spindle kind of choked up, I was like, yeah,
and how the horses all just stood
oh my gosh, yeah, and then her last horse sort of like just, oh man, yeah, that was crazy. I would love to see, I mean this is never gonna happen because it's just but like if this was like made into like a movie, the way they were visualizing the horses, like how they were saying some of them there was basically nothing left, but there was just like dust forming its body, and it was like still charging. Like, what a crazy cool thing to see! Like that would be the I like the visuals a lot.
Yeah.
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 I think that's about it. I freaking loved it. What are you guys rating?
5.
I think I'm giving it a 5.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was just thinking it through. I was slightly between a 4 and a 5, but I think I just really freaking like it. Like I think what sets it higher is like maybe it doesn't have like the epicness, but like I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Like again, like this is like the first book in like a while where like I was just so looking forward to reading more.
Yeah.
It was just really good. I enjoyed it a lot.
It was heartwarming, and that's what I really look for in a book, you know?
Yeah. I'm afraid Manel looks like she's giving it like a freaking 2.5, bro. Like what the hell?
Manel.
I would.
Why? Because it's a children's book, Manel.
Jeez.
No.
Have a heart.
But since I'm gonna give it. I need to think about this a bit more.
Wait.
It's either 4 or 5.
Either a 4 or a 5. Okay, I can live with that. Because like a 4 for Manel is like hugely high praise. So okay.
That's
no,
true.
I don't. We didn't need the hair flip at all.
Might having hair otherwise.
That is true. That is true. The longest I ever had my hair, like it was coming down to like here, and it was mostly because I like couldn't be bothered to cut it rather than any kind of like thing I was trying to go for. And my main regret is like I didn't get to the point where I could like flip it like that. Weirdly, like I wish I had gone a little bit longer, but it was just getting way too annoying. I think I was missing out. Yeah, because it was only in like the stupid phase, and I never got to the fun phase.
Yeah. So what's the next book?
Yeah.
So I'm in between a couple of books. I need some, you know. Have you read Belladonna, Manel?